All right, here we go. Peace and blessings, beautiful family. Thank y'all for joining us. Welcome to another amazing episode of Who's Naked Up in Here. It's good to see y'all. I see y'all already following protocol, so that's pretty dope. But I still have to make the announcement for any and everybody who is new in the room. This is definitely a safe place to share, and we're gracious to have you in this space. If anybody would like to share, um, there's a reaction button at the bottom of the screen, and if you click on that, you can raise your hand. All hands that are raised will be addressed, and I assure you that everybody will have opportunity to share with us tonight. All only thing I ask is that you keep your mic muted while the artist is speaking, and you have the chat to say everything that you would like to say. So please do share and continue to show love throughout the evening. But as soon as the artist finishes with their piece, you can unmute yourself and pay homage to the poet as well as the poem. So tonight we're gonna open up. We're gonna do two pieces each. So as I come across your name on the screen, and I call your name out, please lower your hand and before you start to do your work. Okay, Jamal, what's up, bro? John Moore, my bad. I always say your name wrong. John
I'm
Moore in the
good.
building.
I'm good, man.
All right, that's what's up. Good to see you, King. You know the protocol. If you're gonna share with us tonight, hit that reaction button and raise your hand. I'll make sure I get to you. All right. With that being said, I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Y'all can unmute yourself if y'all want to give some love and pay some support to each other. Just say what's up. That's cool. Coach, you got your foot raised. Okay. Can't see it. Can't see your foot, bro. I didn't even know it was a foot emoji in there, but I guess it is. All right, well, that's being said, let's get it popping, man. I'm about to open up. I'm gonna do two pieces. Um, and then I'll pass the mic to the next artist. And all right, the first piece I'm gonna do tonight is entitled Her Life to Sober Up. Can y'all hear me clearly? Beautiful. She used to tell me how she heard his voice before she even saw him, vibrating the room like a movie theater, surround sounding her living space. When she was sitting, she jumped out of her seat to his horror scene theme music. I remember the time she said she was preparing supper, and his footsteps voluminously filling the hall. As he arrived before the physical appearance with a mouthful of her name, and not the ones given by her parents, but the terms of endearment he pegged in profanities. Apparently, his belligerence startled the Pyrex load of baked lasagna from her hands. The hearty meal she had prepared to meet the oven toppled in a quiver of her arms, the unnatural reflex to hug herself for her own safety. She said he probably never even caught its aroma over the untwisted fumes of his beer, still capped and waiting inside the refrigerator to drown his potty mouth. As she could hear him closing in, his appearance in the kitchen was like a kicked open door, like a kicked open saloon door. The look on his sight, of good food on the floor reassured her she was about to be beaten. His heeled boots made their way her direction, tailing his balled fist in degradation as he struck her down with the back of his hand right across the mouth. Her apology never stood a chance to his pleasure of bringing her down to her knees. The red sauce on her apron contained more blood than tomato paste in its cloth. She tried several times to leave before then. Escaping his fury wasn't optional at all. She said one night she tried to leave in the car and he shot out the rear window and possibly both back tires. If not for her head-on collision with a tree, she may have gotten her head split by his fist instead. She should have woke up in a hospital bed and turned his ass in. But his sympathy at the foot of her wake was enough to bring her home, just so he could lay the blame where he felt it belonged, telling her she should have never tried to leave him, promising if she tried again, there'd be more of the same. Every day she felt dead, she said, being in a relationship scripted to kill her. She fell out of love with him years ago, numb to the drunken pecks he set on her scars. She'd only give herself to keep him from taking her. And she laid lifeless while he had his way, too intoxicated to tell the difference. Or maybe he didn't care if he was pleasuring her corpse. No matter, the end result was always the same, him rolling over from a drunk man's sweat. She thought about snuffing him out with a pillow too many times to recall. The only thing keeping her from living out her fantasy was the fear of him overpowering her. She used to sob memories of how he never saw her to be more than his servitude, a place for his fist and penis to land. There's no possible way he could have ever seen her as a woman, not with the way he wanted her to be groomed. She'd been beat with a broom, tossed into a standing mirror, and one day he had the nerve to try to force her in an oven. Before then, he hadn't ever tried to cook anything on his own. The tale she told me of her horrid lifetime living underneath his thumb, I thought it'd be his life at front end of her hold of the barrel one day. I never expected her to turn the nozzle and hose herself down instead. At least not before taking aim at his abusive shell first. Staring at his falling tears over the body in the casket may have been the beginning of his sobriety. Terribly it was. So sad to see. She had to take her own life to sober him up. So that's the first one. All right, this next one is entitled, They'll Come for Our Voices. It's only a matter of time before they come for our voices. The frequency of our speech to be their message to us. The influence given from our tongues have been greatly boisterous. And when sound is big enough to hear down the street, big enough to implement think in people, there is always an overseer, an elite audience waiting to claim its control. At first, there'll be an issue of a noise ordinance to simmer down a crowd, a disturbing the peace, partitioning for our quiet down. Then there will be a demand in the form of a shackle and for some a bullet. Needles today are like staring down a barrel because they'll stop a heart just the same. While the quarantine of COVID palmed a bullhorn inside a poet's hands, the everyday people and the government officials collectively listen in. And now poetry has a new volume, a higher pitch to reach one's ear, an attention that can no longer be ignored by anyone who hears. The truth in its substance has been too persuasive to hindsight as unimportant. So it's only a matter of time, a matter of fact, in poetry that will soon enough be requested. An armed grab arrest or issued warrant with requirements to redirect its message. Mark my words, in vain or on calendar. The power of speech is on trial today, and there will be a gathering to confide in its space. Every open forum will be compensated. Every agreeing throat will be drowned in wordplay till they've choked out the free breathing in our esophagus. Poets will begin to fill their bodies of work with an artificial air. They'll tell all will no longer be theirs, and they won't even have a problem with it either. The only thing that will hurt their pride is what they'll have to do to keep it. I wish I could say the wall defending poetry will be strong and would be too strong to penetrate. Because when it comes to survival, there are too many lives at stake. But tables are being set as we speak. Halls are being buffered to dance again. Speeches are being written, orchestrated to welcome the poets in. The Last Supper ain't in the frame we expected. The photo meal share of Jesus and his disciples. Today, it's a gangster with a gun under his arm, enticing you to drink, have a smoke, and share clouds at the table. The house belongs to them. Even when they give you enough room to take the floor, it's only a matter of time before they come for our voices. The sad truth is that many of you can't wait to sell it to them. And that's that.
Wow, that's deep. They're already trying to take our voices. There's no waiting. They're banning the books. They're already trying to do this.
Oh yeah,
Totally agree.
amazing
Oh.
piece.
Totally agree.
Amazing.
You know, it's not just the banning of the books, it's the AI writers, the AI wordsmiths that study
Mhm.
study our bodies of work, study how we perform and how we write. And, you know, the Screen Guild uh, is a prime example. Like they're fighting just to be able to write their films and be actors. What's the matter? I see your hands in the air. What
Oh,
you
no, no,
saying?
no. I'm sorry. No, my hand lowered. I, I'm sorry. My hand lowered, so I lost my place, but I didn't even say anything. I just had my mic open. I hadn't said anything yet.
No, it's okay. I seen your hand in the air, so I thought you wanted to say something.
I was going to say something, but I was going to wait. It was about the first piece. I was going to wait till you finished sorry. That was my reaction. My
No, it's
bad.
all good. It's all good. I thought you
But
was
those are
reading.
both very,
That's it. It's all good.
no, very, very powerful pieces. My apologies for interrupting. I was mad. My hand came down, but I wanted to say that especially the first piece, your writing is so brilliant, and the clarity and awareness that you bring. I don't really know if you know how powerful that is for so many people, and doing it from a man's perspective um, is just even more powerful. And also, I want to bring attention to the hotline, this month. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we included the 1-800 number in the chat, which is 1-800-799-SAFE. Again, 1-800-799-SAFE. There's also a text included. So thank you for your voice, for lifting your voice to bring awareness.
Thank you for saying that. And thank you for putting that in the chat as well. I don't do trigger warnings, so my pieces are um, written to impact and touch you however they do. So I'm glad I was able to feel that. And that is a new piece that I wrote for the in support of the domestic violence victims. So it's not always a pretty ending. Um, so I didn't want to script it in that fabrication. That is always going to be a happy end. So again, thank you for embracing it. Um, so let's go. Let's keep this going. Y'all open your hearts and your mics and show some love to my brother Messiah Payne.
Messiah, let's go.
Hey, y'all wake up. Y'all kind of sleepy tonight.
Yeah,
I guess my energy was kind of quiet on that.
yeah. I had a little margarita.
No, it's supposed to be
Yeah,
turned up a little bit.
no, it
Messiah.
makes me relax, very relaxed.
And that's good to know. We know what to do it.
So thank you, Mr. Witz. Two lovely poems from you. And I'm going to get right into it and read two poems of my own. The first is called This Night's Burial. Plaintively hollow, burial consists of I. In this night of looming disquiet, meditative, silent as the stalking leopard, tears into sodden glories, or thoughts of who I was and how misery's hidden step sounded strangely beautiful in the midst of emptiness's soundless formation through which I am born. I pretend that I am healed, and the small boundary between self and absence congeals and quivers tentatively around this fervid lie, a hopeful but cowardly obstruction, serving affirmations in concealed demonstrations of faithless desire. You are okay as you are. Your dreams will be yours. You are fine as you are. Never forget that you are far more than what you seem, and that dreams seem only as attainable as you are prepared to receive. More affirmations, and the bereft man, solemn though with a smile, walks with his head bowed to fate. You are prepared to receive. Your dreams will be yours. I confess, I no longer pretend to be healed. I bury myself secretly here on my stoop, in front of the bee, scouring this lily before me. Is it natural to have died without anyone knowing it, except you and the bee, and perhaps the lily? that probably knows more about this earth than I can possibly imagine. I observed my own burial, anxious and earnest. My body descended slowly. Unnerved, I stared at the body and face, still faint with warmth. The night, however, moved on coldly. As I turned away from the body and face, now fully buried, I heard a whisper. Could it be from the lily or the bee? I could not tell where it was coming from, though it was sweet, like a burgeoning realization of love. The whisper said, though you may never realize it, you will rise many times to find truth a part of you. In each death and each resurrection, a strain of truth will cling to you, and those small pieces will make you. To die is to eventually live again, perhaps unrecognizable, yet all the more relieved, more honest. Authenticity is inevitable. The grave was empty, and where had I gone? I realized that this question was my new birth. If I can discover where I have gone and what it means, then perhaps my new birth will come to me as profoundly, yet as simply, as a tap on one's shoulder from a lost love who greets you to reunite without fuss, yet with all the possessed poetry of eternity. So that was the first poem. And this is the second one. It's called Nearly Understood. The air is iridescent, yet opaque, where death saturates the calm movement of the purposeless, who carry themselves off the edge of silence and into a faceless expression no idol of love can mend. I join them in my own way, the crawl to escape this adolescence which clings like an old despot. I am not blind to context, the very slow paces toward happiness. I am merely impatient. And so I drink in my unexpressed struggle to retain some veneer of calm, desperation in 5 steps, 5 beers. This sixth beer will put me to sleep. And will I dream of flying again, moving above an unrecognizable city among people who don't notice me, my flight controlled by a force that has no name or face? And what does that dream mean? Is the flight an attempt at escape, or the yearning for dreaming long and far? In an unknown landscape of unconscious mind before others who have no idea what I am? Are we all struggling to realize the dream of ourselves before an inadvertently thoughtless humanity, wrangling with the unconscious to achieve a form of conscious experience that will only partially resonate truth? And the force that controls my flight, is it not God? Is it not fate? Is it not destiny? What is it? Perhaps I am in denial. As I awake another hangover, I say to myself, I will find another way. And that odd hour drag of the sun through the sky doesn't seem so terrible. It seems instead to produce in me a virtue, to try and try again. Thank you.
Oh my
I
goodness. So,
what was I gonna
such
say?
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Erica.
Wow.
I need an audio something of this young man. My God. I want to ask you how old you are because you look very young, but you have a voice of an old soul, and I'm telling you, I it's just so soothing.
Thank you.
It's just so soothing. I love your absolutely love your voice.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm 30, by the way.
Yep, you can be my child.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh, that's amazing. Those were amazing pieces. You've gotten some love in the chat. Um, just amazing. Thank you, Messiah, for sharing, for
Thank
always
you.
being here with such cathartic words um, and such an amazing voice. So keep doing what you do. We thank you. And y'all continue showing love in the chat for Messiah. My goodness. All right.
Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you again. Yes, we appreciate you. We appreciate your voice and your candor and just all of it. All right, we're gonna keep this thing moving. Mr. Witt stepped away for just a second. He'll be back, but we're gonna keep it moving. And next up, I believe we have Black Silver. So y'all show some love for Black Silver as we're clapping him in. Make sure you continue to show that love for Messiah in the chat. Thank you, guys. Yeah, his pen is absolute. That's brilliant. All right, Black Silver, y'all.
Hello, what it be like, what it be like? How's everybody doing? All right, can you hear me okay? Okay,
Yes,
I see
sir, we
thumbs
can hear
up,
you
so. Okay, cool, I see thumbs up, so I'm gonna go ahead and spit. All right, here we go. I got two pieces. The first piece is called I Haunt, and the second piece is called Just Superstition. So let's start out with I Haunt. All right, here we go. In the dark is where it starts. Oh, wait, no. Let me start over. That's the wrong piece. Artificial light cast real shadow, real comfort. We are all shadows, haunted by flesh, taunted by our reflection. You perform for the collective, but I am your only witness. I am listening. I am watching. I am haunting, conjuring your only fear of being alone. I am a werewolf under a lonely moon. I remember when I was a puppy, whining for white milk. Now I am 14 white wolves that haunt a lonely moon. God is a wolf pack. God has my back because God is my shadow. No turning back. I did it all for the dinero. But money can't buy respect. I did it all for the collective, but really it was all for her. I did it all for her, but she doesn't understand. Baby, give me one more chance. May I have this final dance? Last bullet, you get one shot. Last drop, you get one shot. Last dollar, spend it on a flashlight because my only friend is a shadow. Take a look in the mirror. Now you know that something ain't right. Haunted by my reflection. I did it all for the collective, but really it was all for him. I am 14 mermen that haunt the lonely sea. I am Ra-Amun that haunts the lonely sun. The war has begun. We are all daughters of desperation, fighting for daddy's attention. I haunt daddy's footsteps, sins of the lonely father, passed down to lonely daughters, passed down to lonely mothers. I am lonely ghost of a haunted house, passed down to end the spell. I am your mother. I am your father. I am your brother. I am your friend. And I am with you in spirit wherever you go. You are the only thing I know. And when you want to see me, just look at your shadow. That was I Haunt, or simply you could call it Haunt. But moving on to the next one, Just Superstition. All right, here we go. Just Superstition. Just superstition. What's the definition of good and evil? Guilty people packed into steeples, praying to their God, fingers crossed. What comes next? Redemption from the DEVIL. I don't want to go to hell. God, please save me from myself. Big crosses, big crystals, big unks. I'm a big kid now, kissed by a succubus, gifts for the ancestors, drowned by a Baptist, knocked out by a hypnotist, redeemed by an exorcist. Don't tell Sky Mama I did this. I'll go to hell for this. Then again, it's just superstition. Just superstition. Superstition just kill you. You don't believe it, but they do. Nailed to the cross like the Bible. Blood sacrifice like an ancient tribe. Not so modern warfare. Praying to their God they survive. Which path is right? The cross or the Ankh? The pentacle or the Bible? Sacred symbols, too complex to decipher. They all look the same without glasses. I rinse out my eyes and I can't tell the difference. It doesn't matter your religious preference, as long as you don't worship Satan and pay your taxes. because at the end of the day, we're all God's children.
Nice. Y'all unmute yourselves and show some love to the poet. Thank you, Black Silver 47. That was fire.
Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Everybody's quiet tonight.
The last line at the end of the day, we are all God's children. That right there.
Thank you for that, Erica.
Thank you. Glad to know someone's listening.
Indeed, we got a quiet space tonight. I guess everybody a little sleepy or something, but it's all good. We all here. So I guess
Sleepy
that's the most important
and
part.
margarita working. So I'm tired of insomnia be kicking me in my tail every night. I'm tired of it.
Don't forget, there's also comments in the chat after we do our pieces. Don't forget to check the chat. People are showing love the way they can tonight.
That part. It's all love, man. Let's continue to embrace each other. But thank you again, Black Silver 47. We appreciate you. All right. And y'all open your mics and show some love to our next poet, Kelly Mary McAllister.
Oh, I love Kelly. I'm definitely a fan. Oh my God, that piece she spit on, what is it, Albie JC? That was crazy. I
you're
did. Yeah, I was in the queue too. I came after you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, I've got two pieces, both older, so some of the regulars might have heard before. But the first one is called 1 Week. It was Monday, technically, in the lost space between day and night, when the day before and the day ahead mix and mingle, but the clock and the calendar and the timestamps of all our texts say Monday. So it was Monday when you reached out, not for an ear or a word, but simply a witness. Tuesday, you took your son to daycare, dropped him off, the usual mix of relief and regret. You went to physio, rehabbed a knee that didn't work just right, that hadn't for a long time, like nothing was working right. Maybe some things don't ever heal. Maybe some things can never be fixed. I took a shower on Wednesday. The strike of water on my naked skin, long rivulets and rivers of this clean water flowing the salt-crusted paths of the too many tears that leaked from my eyes like a broken faucet. You had been taking cold showers, you told me, when I told you that I was finally clean. You knew how hard it is to wash the dirt off your body when the dirt in your mind sticks in the cracks and the crevices, the folds of your gray matter, and you can never scrub it out. You were taking showers, you said, these days. You ordered me bath bombs on Thursday. A box of Bliss to be delivered after. Sweet scents and bright colors meant for warm baths, not your cold showers. I wrote you a poem. You said you loved it. That it was hard, but it was perfect. That it was you. You read it to your therapist. I can't think of a higher compliment. On Friday, you texted to see how I was. I did not respond. Saturday, you got an MRI for your knee, the part of you the doctors thought that maybe they could fix. It was something small, still significant. So you drove to Kitchener and you got an MRI. You texted me that you'd get the results in about a week, 7 days, give or take. I didn't respond right away. I was napping, trying to shake the tentacles of the migraines I get during the periods where I can't stop sleeping. The cause and the cure, the same. I was asleep when you texted. I responded too late. Sunday, a February Sunday. February of short days, February of endless winter. Sunday, the Lord's Day. Sunday, the end of the week. Sunday, bittersweet Sunday. Always proud of what is to come. A February Sunday. Dreary and dark and hopeless. You checked into a hotel. You never checked out. My text turned from blue to green, unread. So that is the first piece. And the second piece is called Baggage and is slightly less traumatized. In amongst the unfinished to-do list, the endless candy wrappers, the crumbs of pastries I didn't even like but finished anyways. In amongst the pens still full of the ink not used to write the thoughts still stuck in my full head. In amongst the books and books and books, all finished and read over and over and over, and piled like travel guides for trips already taken. In amongst the hairpins and safety pins and push pins with blood long dried from years of self-harm, and the empty bottles of pills once taken. In amongst the sloth and the dreams I once had. All of this detritus floats amongst the tears that I cried with my head in my bag while calling a muffled, "It's just allergies, no worries," to concerned passerbys, unlucky enough to have been seated on this subway nearby. I think I shoved my heart somewhere in there, amongst the junk, the garbage, the treasures, but it's lost at the bottom and I can never find it when I need it. I'm considering having a spare mate to leave with a trusted friend. I'm worried I lost it for good this time. This baggage is heavy. I thought my shoulders had grown wider and my back stronger and the weight familiar. I thought I had finally learned how to carry it. But I have ripped a seam again. I have ripped a seam again. And so I must rush to repair it before my past and myself spill out on the floor of this subway car. And I get gum on my soul. And that is it for me.
Tell me,
Wow.
Kelly, are you reciting that from memory or are you reading?
The first one was mostly from memory. The second one I was reading.
This is the thing I love about you and your delivery. It's like you're having a conversation, just a regular conversation. It doesn't sound like you're reading anything.
Okay.
It's so natural. It just flows. Oh my God, you are such an awesome storyteller. I loved it. I'm definitely a fan, for real, for real.
Thank you so much. I'm a fan of yours as well. I'm still thinking of that poem from last week's workshop.
Nice, awesome. And what's this workshop?
The second and fourth Tuesday of the month at 7:30, though it may be moving to 8 o'clock. We, through the Six Poet Society, which is based in Toronto, we run a free generative online Zoom workshop with 3 to 4 prompts. I'll throw the
Nice.
link in the chat for anyone who wants to come.
Awesome. Please do. Please do. And the first piece was awesome too. I hate that it was a February Sunday. I'm a February baby, so I got big support for February. But I know, I understood the importance of the shortness, of the shortened month or the shortened time. And February can tend to be a cold month, depending on where you live at in the world.
Canada, it's pretty cold here.
Oh goodness, it's cold all the time up there, ain't it?
Yeah.
It gets pretty hot in the summer. This week has been unseasonably warm.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to Canada, thank you for your work tonight. Definitely amazing work.
Kelly, you had so many amazing lines. I tried to capture them all, but my finger and my mind and typing weren't tying together, but I did capture some. You are an amazing storyteller, and those were amazing pieces and powerful. So thank you for sharing.
Well, I think you really occupy your pieces. You are so present in your readings, and it feels very genuine and human.
This is too much
Awesome.
praise. I don't know how to take this many compliments at once. Thanks,
Well-
Shocky. You got me.
Mr. Witch,
Yes, Mama Betty.
I don't know if you guys, I'm having technical difficulties. I'm still at my daughter's house, and I sent a form to Nebo. I don't know if you received it to read.
Yes. Nemo, did you receive the poem?
No, I've gotten the messages, but not a poem yet. Did you send it through Instagram?
Yes, to your chat, to your DM.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Don't worry about it.
Do you want to try email or just send it through Instagram again and see if I get it?
Now this bad boy. Let's see.
Sometimes when you send it through a laptop, it takes a few moments.
Well,
Maybe
I sent it through my through this Jive phone I have here.
okay.
So, but on my through my Instagram. But if it doesn't go, I'll see you next week. I may have to leave, but I'll sit it. I'll wait the next week. I want to hear the Nemo's voice.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you can get it to him and we can hear it tonight. If not, you know, you're more than welcome to come back and share with us next week. We'll be here for it.
And
All
I
right?
like Kelly's poem. I like Kelly's poem too. Both of them. One love, you guys.
Thank you, Mama Betty. Thank y'all for showing love and giving love to the artists. Shout out to Kelly Mary McAllister for those dope reads. And let's keep that love going as we move forward throughout the night. Y'all look into the chat because I know we've been showing a lot of love and support in the chat. Not everybody can find the voice to put the words out through their vocal cords, but it's definitely being pushed through the chat. So stay in there, checking for that embrace. With that being said, y'all open y'all hearts and y'all mics and let's show some love to Mary Ann Peters.
Okay. This
How you
one's called
doing,
Life
Mary
for Me Ain't Been No Crystal Stair.
Ann?
Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. I went through domestic violence. I went through losing a lot of people. I went through sexual assault. I went through bullying in school. I went through being called names. I went through a lot. I survived it all. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. I even went through death with a lot of my pets in the past. They were poisoned by my ex. You see, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. I even dealt with anorexia. I survived it too. I'm glad I'm still here. Okay. And then next one I'll read is called Darkness. I've been through darkness. I've been through domestic violence. I've been through a lot of death. I've gone through anorexia. I've gone through depression. I've been through sexual assault. I went through a fire. I've gone through anxiety. I've gone through suicide tries. I've gone through self-harm. I've gone through a lot. Darkness has been with me in many ways. Darkness, though, did not win. I'm still here. I'm doing better now. I'm happier now. Darkness will not ever take over. Light's with me now more than ever. I like the light. The darkness can go to hell.
That is a lot.
Y'all. Thank you, Nemo. Yeah, y'all open up your mics and show some love to the poet.
Yeah, that's heavy and very relatable. Very
Thanks.
relatable.
Marianne, I'm always in awe of you and your power and vulnerability to share. And I want you to know how much you sharing of yourself, of your story, the resilience that it shows that you have and reminds us that we need to also have. And I'm just so proud of you. Thank you for sharing tonight, and as you always do.
You're welcome, and thanks. I decided to come here even though me and everyone else in the household is sick.
No. Well, I hope everybody gets well soon. It's that time of year where, you know, the illnesses start to come because we have that change in the weather. So it's notably flu season and COVID is still running rapid. So let's make sure we take care of ourselves to keep good health. Mary Ann, the biggest thing that I took from what you said was I've been through it all, but I survived. I'm still here.
Yep.
So,
Mary, can
yeah.
I say this?
Yeah.
Yes, Mama.
I want to say what a wonderful homage to the great Langston Hughes. It shows the universal love and appeal that goes across all cultures. That poem was spot on. Again,
Thanks.
homage to Langston Hughes.
Yes,
You can't see
that opening, life hasn't been a crystal sphere.
it's there.
Yeah, definitely. Great recognition on that, Mama Betty. And again,
Amazon. Marianne is an Amazon. She's a warrior woman, and I really, really appreciate and admire her bravado and her bravery. Keep it going, Marianne. One love.
Thanks.
I love it. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Keep pushing that love. Welcome, Vivid. We appreciate you coming and vibing with us tonight. Generalissimo, I didn't see you coming to the building either. Good to see you here tonight as well. If you'd like to share, Vivid, there's a reaction button at the bottom of the screen. If you raise your hand, I'll get to you as I come across, all right? Just giving you a shout out real quick because I know you came in a little late, but we still got room for you, all right? With that being said, thank y'all for paying homage to Marianne Peterson, and y'all keep that love going. Open y'all mics and y'all hearts and show some love to Erica Floyd. Y'all know her as Brooklyn House.
Hey, I didn't know I was up. Okay, let me pull this up here. I got two pieces. One is new. Well, actually, both of them is new to the space. Let me see if I can get to the right page. Let me see here. Ramrock had given me two prompts, and I put it in one piece. One was eating me from the inside, and the other prompt was deep to my empty. And can you guys hear me okay, or am I going in and out?
No, you sound great.
Okay. All right. 11 years. 11 years, 7 months since I lost you. Lost you to misunderstanding, or maybe, just maybe, to pretense of what should have never been understood. Because the entity that snatched you away from me is still cloaked in narcissism. No ownership in the part they've played, no real redemption to the act they've portrayed. To this very day, they've blamed me for the mess they've made. On the surface, they appear to have gotten away with it. I'm told quite often that they're suffering and I just don't see it. But I don't see it. I know I am to forgive them. But each time I've attempted to be the bigger person, they do something to worsen it. The need for reparation is eating me from the inside. Each and every time I think that God has restored my gift, I end up mourning it because it's still very. However, my faith reminds me that God's able to do exceedingly abundantly, but maybe I'm just greedy. Maybe I'm coming off as needy. I'm ecstatic that God has kept me, but I still miss my alto. Chords damaged in order to sound an alarm. Had it not been for my siren, he would have done irreparable harm. In retrospect, God exceeded my expectations on that tragic day that I lost you. And although I may never hit those notes again, my life was extended 11 years and 7 months. And through that extension, I was able to see graduations. I discovered I could write poetry and be part of an empathetic community worldwide. I've created works worth publishing. So perhaps I'm not as deep to my empty as I thought. Perhaps I am full to bursting in my blessings. And that is that first piece. And this.
Before you go on,
Uh-huh.
everyone, please make sure your mics are muted. We don't want to be rude or interrupting if you have a conversation going on in the back. Please mute yourself. Generalissimo, please mute your mic for me. And anyone else, if there's someone speaking, do your best to pay homage and respect. Even if you have to step away and you're not listening, make sure your mic is muted. I apologize. Come on, Erica.
No, it's okay, because I kind of thought somebody was not muted, but I didn't want to stop. I started to stop and start again. Okay, the second piece, I believe it was Gifted. They gave the prompt. The last time you opened your eyes, you realized there was stagnancy in wallowing in a defeatist fate. It was time to take action from the reflection of your mind state. Know that there's joy in allowing you to soar, to spread your light to a dark world, to journey into your destiny, to look beyond the glass ceiling of hindrances that try to blind you to your limitless potential. There's wisdom in knowing that the only thing that can keep you in bondage is your mind. A made-up mind is a necessity in this endeavor. I rest in confidence of releasing you to your own recognizance. And I feel in my soul that when your spirit ascends, you will hear these words from above. Well done. And that is that piece.
Great work. Y'all open your mics and show some love to the poet.
Wow. Wow. Really powerful.
Thank you.
Oh my God, that is so awesome. I don't know if I've heard you recite that. Wow, great job. Great write.
Beautiful.
Love that. Love the opening line of both your first piece and this one. And then there's wisdom in knowing the only thing that can keep you in bondage is your mind. Come on, you better come on, poet. You better come on.
Thank you. No, this is the second time I recited, because I just recited it on LBJC, her platform. So that was the first time.
Well, you did a great job. Both pieces was dope. Great right to the author prompt.
Thank you, everyone.
Good
Appreciate
morning.
That's what's up. And y'all keep that love going in and out of the chat, please. Don't be shy to type some things in there. If you don't want to say it out loud, please show it through the chat. All right. With that being said, y'all open your hearts, y'all mics, and show some love to Drive More Small.
Oh, my bad. Hey, what's up, everybody? How everybody's doing?
Hey, I'm sorry. I always have a hard time trying to unmute myself and then mute it again.
Right? I have this same problem. I turn on my camera and then I start talking. I forget, oh shit, the mic. How they hear me without the mic? I was like, come on, you know better than that. So yeah, the caveman instinct is kicking in again. All right, our two pieces now today. The first piece is entitled Young Black Male. and it goes like this. Young black males get pressurized by the system. The ghetto is the law, and the ghetto is persistent. You are living like a failure ever since you were conceived. You was forced into something that you never meant to be. Black people are living under slavery still. Some of them are living on the street, and some of them are acting like babies still. How can we say that we are free while a high percentage of our people were locked up by police? I guess it's high time for us to change our culture. Some of us are living like niggers, while the rest of us are acting like vultures, draining the economy dry over some food stamp and living under bad infrastructure. Young black male, please upgrade the life that you are living. Let us move in nigger harmony and embrace the life that you are given. And that's the first piece. But the first part, well, nigger harmony, well, I didn't, the word nigger harmony wasn't in there, but I put it in there, you know, while I was reading, I was like, dude, this one gives a little more sting, nigger harmony, so yeah. All right, our next poem. This piece is entitled Death, and it goes like this. As they present my dead body to the ground, and there shall I lay for eternity, looking upwards to where I once belonged, while living the life of the uncertainty. As the worm devour my flesh, and my consciousness sink deeply into the ground, not even a memory of me was left. I guess it's goodbye forever, while my body sink deeply into the ground. In 1,000 years, there won't be no skin and bones, just a fair mutation who disappeared in the human memory long ago. Never once I retrace my step. I'm guess I'm lost forever. The sorrowful tears you shed shall be all wiped away. And that's the end of those two pieces.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for sharing. Y'all open y'all mics and show some love.
Oh,
There's a lot of heavy pieces in this room tonight.
Yeah, that was heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I was trying to be late, but hey, everybody was dropping something, so I just put in two pieces. I had two pieces to do tonight. I was like, nah, I will save them for next week or some other time, but yeah.
yeah, you share what's on your heart, and sometimes when you're listening, that can change your energy. The energy can be controlled, or transcending from another artist or just the room. Period. There's been a lot of heavy pieces in here from the very beginning, so just blame it on this time of year, with the homage that we have to pay to keep each other up. So we definitely got to work through those as well. So thank you for sharing, brother. Truly appreciate you. With that being said, y'all can keep putting that fever in the chat. You got a lot of shout outs in there. Make sure you go back and look those over. This time, y'all open up your hearts and your mics and show some love to Gifted.
Yes, Gifted. Let's go.
good.
Come through.
All right, Gifted, let's hear it.
Okay, I had to finish my chicken.
How you could be eating?
Yes, yes.
I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all good? I think I'm gonna switch it up. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
You can hear you.
All right. I think I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe, maybe not.
If you're switching it up, I know I'm gonna have to brace myself now. Lord help me in your voice.
All right. The unexpected moonlight shines in between and out of the blur of blunders, between the lines of regret, missteps of each stone unturned. Lived 1,000 hours over and over again, still find myself in the curves of the bend, lost in the belly of the beast. Hard to find my way each day. Each day I pray, but it's still hard to find my way. Possibilities does not escape my fingertips. Remorse buffering, remorse buffering, remorse buffering. I find pieces of joy in the puzzle that brings me comfort. Sorting through the boxes of regrets, finding my way, remembering the knots forever connected to my heart. Don't shackle me. Through the looking glass of regrets, a reflection, my eyes was still me. That's looking glass of regrets. All righty, that's that piece. And this next piece is Love Like. Love Like. Love like a bottled ship upon the sea, moving with the waves up and down at the right time, up and down, back and forth, moving with the waves of time. Each strike of irrelevant wet, protected by the glass that surrounds. Momentous thrust received openly and held, floating into the arms of surrender. Yeah, love like that, like the winds are shifting, tantalizing breezes blowing, sensually saunters into the openings of our hearts. Into the openings of our hearts, landing strokes refreshes the air that we breathe. All around us, pulling forth the idea that this here love is real. Love like sun kissing the moon, saying, how did you sleep last night? Clouds surrounding and shielding the glow, only allowing a perfect peek into the view of giving soft surges of warm touches each time you speak. Hug, hips, melt. Love, like we were predestined to find one another upon the shore, hand in hand, kicking the sand, finding our way together. Love, just like that.
Beautiful. I love that. Is it sun kissing the moon? Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Love just like that.
So
That was
Thank you.
definitely beautiful, and thank you for kind of for the change of the mood. It was getting a little dark, a little heavy in here, and I think some love was definitely necessary. So thank you for sharing that. I like the kissing
Mr.
the
Witz,
sand part.
Zoom. I don't know if you know Mr. Witz.
Dark Man Blues, welcome, brother. I guess he's telling somebody about the show. But again, I like that kicking the sand line. It was kind of like a sharing of the hourglass. Is that what you were
Yeah,
referring to in that?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
slowly allowing time to pass and not giving a care. We're hand in hand kicking the sand.
so I love that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, thank you.
And I love the sticky situations reference. How did you sleep last night? I caught that. So thank you for this. That was dope.
Sorry.
Let's welcome some
Sorry.
new faces in the room. So good to see you, CP Mays, my brother. Miko, good to see you, King. Dark Man Blues in the building. Good to see you. Kim B. Miller, Sidekick. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. All right. If I miss anybody, I hope I got everybody. For those who just joined, if you would like to share, there's a reaction button at the bottom of the screen. If you click down there, you can raise your hand. And if I see your hand raised, then I'll come across the screen and I'll allow you time to share like everyone else. Again, thank you for that share. Y'all show some love to the poet. And while y'all loving on Gifted, open your hearts and your mics and show some love to Nemo soon.
Thank you.
Let's go, Nemo.
Hey.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. It's Wednesday. We made it. I'm so glad everyone is here. I'm afraid I'm going to go a bit heavy again, but I guess that's to be expected. I've got two microtriptychs that are connected, and it's all about my dad. Two of the pieces in the second microtriptych are brand new. I'm still working on them. So the phoenix refuses to rise. So we lay in the ashes, despair and die, staring at the ceiling, not talking. Still, because moving only makes her hold on tighter. I can feel my heartbeat slowing. Anger left hours ago. He didn't turn to look, just slammed the door. I heard the car peeling out into the night. I don't know if he'll come back this time. I wish his absence felt peaceful. Everyone here is broken because everyone here lost the fight. Fire's gone out. The air smells like loss. And I'm waiting for someone who isn't coming. Excuse me. When my father decided it was time to go, he went. There was no hug that would hold him. But I did make him cry. On the day he walked away, he turned back with tears in his eyes. I think in that moment, leaving me hurt, knowing this was the forever kind of goodbye, stung him a little bit. A few tears on a causeway shed for a son who was never good enough for him to stay. I saw a vision of my parents as I imagined them as a child, like smiling ghosts at the end of the film. And all was good, and all was forgiven, and my heart leapt, like finding home at last, like recognizing the face of a loved one, like something real instead of phantoms, instead of the dreams of little boys. instead of something I created to try to make some sense of my broken family. Recognizer, there's a G in it. I got home from the theater and I ran to find my dad to tell him about the spaceship in the movie that made my heart jump. He stopped me. He wouldn't let me finish until I pronounced its name correctly. And if he gave a fuck about the look on my face, he never showed it. Turning the corner on a familiar street, I encountered myself when I was just a boy. He was walking headlong into the storm, and I wanted to shout some warning. Maybe I could stop him and share some wisdom that would spare him from the wind that batters with words. But I never did learn how to dodge a lightning bolt. I have been struck so many times, and this charred heart doesn't hold any answers. So I watched him go alone and unprepared into the rain. Perhaps he'll write about it someday. All the grass was dead, and the air was only slightly cold under a silent gray sky. I walked and I smoked. The heart in my chest was freshly broken, still all jagged edges. And I wanted to rip it out to stop it from hurting. As the sky darkened, twinkle lights fought back with their little pools of defiant color. Thank you.
Oh man, y'all open your mics and show some love to the poet. Nemo, you nailed that piece. You nailed it. Both microchick was crazy. You know, I know it comes from a hurtful place. So we definitely appreciate your strength and sharing with us. But you know, the discussion we was having, you nailed that piece. You nailed it.
Thank you. It's such a beautiful place to be able to share something like that and know that it will be received. So thank you everyone for listening.
I've told you this before, but I'll say it again. You say so much in so little. And
Efficient.
that's a remarkable skill.
Nemo, like I know me, I can kind of sort of pick apart the code of other poets as to why their shit works, but I can't figure out mine. You know, maybe I'm too close to my own shit and I can't tell. Like what I've been noticing with you, like I'm a habitual line stepper. It's just been in me since I was born. And I cross lines, but I learned that once I start crossing lines in honesty, I was looking for the next line to cross. Like I wasn't afraid to keep going and finding new lines to cross because it was my honesty and my growth. And I have to look at things different and test myself and question. Like recently, dude, you've been stepping across emotional lines, like with honesty and reflection, and been finding the next line the next fucking week. And then the next week, finding the next line the next fucking week with another micro. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you're unbelievable, man. Don't doubt your writing, dude. You're a fucking animal, dude. You're an animal. Yeah. Just thought you should know.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you.
I'm gonna say men talking about their fathers. You don't get a lot of that. You just don't. And you being willing to be vulnerable. And like May was saying, like crossing lines, it just, for me, it helps me because, you know, we don't get a chance to really talk about those things. We don't get a chance to really be vulnerable. And then to be vulnerable in the way that you are and articulate, and then with the imagery of it, like the dead grass, you know, I'm with it. Thank you. Thank you.
You.
Thank y'all so much. Like I said, it's not always easy to share these messages. We all know, we all poets, so we know a lot of times our works come from hurtful places. And a lot of us, it took a while for us to even find the voice to speak out on it. So I appreciate y'all giving those virtual hugs, and the ones that are in the chat as well. Let's make sure we keep paying that forward. It's very important. Thank you, Nemo. I appreciate your share tonight. Y'all keep loving on Nemo. And while y'all loving on Nemo, open your hearts to your mics and show some love to Coach Josh Smalls. What's up, Bedrin?
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
Ciao.
What
Hey.
up? What's happening? First of all, shout out to everybody in the room, which thanks for holding down always, bro. Without making this a long thing, man, I've known Nemo for a couple of years now. And to watch him do a complete 180 from where he started, man, I don't have enough foreheads to take off enough hats to tell you how proud I am of you, bro. And so, I tell you that all the time. I know where you've been. I know where you came from, where you graduated from. And that pen is ridiculous. And I just need a little bit of it. Just brush a little bit in my direction, just a little bit. I don't even need a lot, because I can't handle all that shit you got. Your pen is dope, bro. So appreciate you for being here, man. For real. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me just jump right in, because I don't know. It's just one of those days. The state of being compulsively committed to a habit or practice is called addiction. If I asked for this definition, most would claim nicotine, alcohol, caffeine, soda, or some sort of pain relief you can buy over the local pharmacy. Ironically, 4% of America falls into this category. I myself am no different. I'm addicted to Google. So I search things like which year Kellogg's cornflakes came out, or which NBA player wore the first Converse All-Stars to the big game. So Google has become a best friend of mine. That ride or die that you can ask questions most people are afraid to speak about. Google is like a first round draft pick. Regardless of the score, I know who I can count on in the clutch. So one day I searched the word legal. And I hit enter, my screen turned white. And black and blue letters covered the flame like fire ants on Jolly Rancher Jawbreaker. It was then that I learned legal had color issues, and somehow had a rich man's undertone woven like a ransom note in a tiny font at the bottom line of your paperwork. I bet you legal has a bald spot attached to his political cabinet, the one that made his last name common on Capitol Hill. I'll prove it. My search welcomed everything free, like Legal Shield and firms near me, pro bono, affordable, illegal advice. And in parentheses, I read American legal system and permitted by law. And I thought, finally, now we're at the business end of a double-barrel shotgun. Houston, here's the problem. Legal only meant what America said was safe or acceptable. Anything painted red with good old boys claiming it as heritage. Sundown towns were permitted by law, like black codes and paper bag laws, stop and frisk, red lines, Jim Crow, orange suits, black skin in plain sight, too unfriendly, criminal, guilty, even when the law hasn't found a jurisdiction yet. See, the problem has never been the color of a man's skin. Only the backbone theory of American eyesight. The problem is only fixed on closed mouths that forget human has absolutely nothing to do with a man's color. It's just man-made ideas that taste good on bitter tongue. See, I am committed to Google like kindred souls. Will scale every inch of her being with the hunger of choice words and explanations other people seem to run away from. I'll be honest. I write poems for smiles and to wish others happy moments, and butterfly wings that sing happiness into a new day. But most of the time, my skin doesn't permit smiling, because breathing while Black is a threat in this country. It says fortune rang my doorbell accidentally, and that's the most un-American tradition in existence. It's the state of being compulsively committed to a habit or a practice. So I'm addicted to sweating at traffic stops. Whenever blue lights tell my car to slow down, my skin begs God for a safe place to pull over. Ironically, jail and death have a thin line between officer and a gentleman. And when where I come from, those two hardly ever pass through the same neighborhood. And when they do, no one's allowed to ask questions. So I choose my friendships wisely. And when it's all said and done, and I'm alone with no one to ask, I simply ask Google.
Wow.
That's number one. This other one's a new one too, so bear with me. I was once asked, what's my favorite color? And I thought of all the reds and blues I knew, the earth tones that come to life when seasons change. My mind saw rainbows that only appear midsummer, like fuchsia and magenta, colors that make holidays notable and pretty like falling stars that only appear in December, crystal clear skies. I never thought of its origin or where it got its name from. Never found a fragrance to call it home or safe. I remember seeing her from stages tucked behind microphones in the bend of word patterns that oftentimes sweets an eardrum, but my favorite color writes pictures in cursive, spells poetry with long eyelashes and an undeniable undertone. She probably drives a Honda Civic or Benz. Reminds me of a time when we would text 143 to a pager hoping that it made her smile, a time before the number sign became a hashtag. I remember calling her love whenever this world misplaced her and clouds changed when she couldn't find happy, or someone mentioned that your kind just isn't welcome around these parts. See, there's something about the way Google tells her story. So I switched windows hoping this country will spell her name different. And I pray they somehow close their wings and lean a little in a different direction, because obviously left or right isn't working. So my favorite color learns to sing me to joy daily. Has high cheekbones and a bullseye for a birthmark. She walks this earth guilty of everything people call her. Criminal, deadbeat, invisible. She's labeled things like ghetto fabulous and beyond hope. Some have said she's just fallen from God's grace. So my favorite color prays often. Hides her passion in hip hop culture. She's usually grandma's favorite and hadn't seen her dad in years, but never forgot his name. She's heartbroken and somehow still believes in love. Hates police stops more than she hates Monday mornings. My favorite color doesn't watch the news and writes poetry on loose leaf paper and notepads. Did I tell you she prays often? Calls the creator every 15 minutes or whenever the phone rings at nighttime, and every time she walks into her child's bedroom and it's empty. My favorite color doesn't sleep well. Doesn't remember high school math, but can sing every Temptation classic known to man. My favorite color has no home and doesn't know her history or place of origin. She loves cocoa butter and has a shoe fetish. Nike, red bottoms, old school rain boots, and Air Force One. She knows prison a little too well. from the inside, or the plexiglass that stands between her and a loved one. My favorite color was actually kidnapped. Follows traditions someone taught her ancestors, so she's lost. Torn between outcast and unloved, my favorite color is now a statistic. Gift wrapped in politics that deny she's human. She lives in a country that doesn't like her smell. So my favorite color forgets she's a gold mine. Cannot see its value dressed in American tongues. Someone calls this life, but I call it by its name. Political warfare. From red lines to racism, no one calls it pretty, so my favorite color has no reflection and stands on values that call her empty, spun between dreams and generations in the same project building. My favorite color has a black frying pan and a wallet full of bad credit. Freedom of speech with algorithms, so she texts before she calls because someone has already refused her. So she wears black to look slim and to be prepared for funerals. She loves babies and keeping a home, but doesn't mind working. She just can't find a job. My favorite color has no birthday. Gave life to every flavor known to this world, from freedom to human bondage. My favorite color is heading home now. Speaking languages no one thought she knew. Some would call it strange. Many call it foreign. I call it God's blessing because, well, that's the first thing that makes my favorite color amazing. And the only thing it needs to make my favorite color absolutely beautiful.
I can't stand Ja. I cannot
Nah,
stand him.
it's
Oh
the
my
way job. It's the
God.
way job blew a kiss and then just backed away from the long hair. Like he didn't drop the mic. He just blew the kiss, and then the background came in. Like, okay, I'm done. I'm just done.
That was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I can't stand Grande's boys. I swear they are trip. They are, oh my God. I love y'all. I want to say I hate you, but I love you.
Bro, the first piece was crazy. With the whole Google search, because I know the connection with that, and I know how genuine that is for you, um, and how you can go down the rabbit hole, in that, um, within those searches, and finding the depths of just the injustice of so much. But that second piece was just fucking magnificent, bro. It had so many double entendres, so much love, yet so much hurt. Um, that that was involved in it. It was great, great, right, bro. Well written.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks. I'm happy to be back. Wednesdays don't always work good, but when I could be here, I'm here, man. And I'm glad I was able to get on. Thank y'all for all the feedback. We working. That's all I can say. Peace and love.
Your delivery, your voice is always magical. Always.
John, the thing I like about it, like as you were reading the poem, I couldn't help but think about the two dichotomies of the polar opposites of all the colors together is black, right? And then white is like the absence of color or whatever, or something like that, right? And if all the colors together is black, and then you got the universe and space and all of that good stuff, the way you were giving your colors, other hues, you know what I'm saying? And to build all of those colors together made me think about like the strength behind Black people. Like all of those colors came together and formed Black for me in my mind. Like it's very well thought out. I see what you've done, kind sir. That was well thought out and well played. Like, yeah, man.
I'm glad you said that. I'm not going to take, because I want to let y'all get into your thing. Here's what I try to think about, right? I write a lot of angry Black man poems because, God damn it, I'm Black and I be angry. But this is something that I had to realize, and some of you can catch a gem from this. all angry black man poems or black women poems work, but they don't work in every space. So you gotta pretty the anger without losing the fucking anger. It's just how you tell a story. Because I can say that in a whole different tone and change it. So you gotta find a way to put flowers on the anger. And that's what I wanted to do. So I keep you locked in, but I don't want you to miss nothing. All of that shit is real. And so thank you for saying it, because that's exactly what it was. You know, you gotta put all of them colors together in order to have what color originated from. Black is not a color. It is the origin of all colors. It doesn't make a color until you take something from it. So that's why I wanted to name that, because a woman has to give birth before something comes to life. So she has to be, anyway, I ain't gonna say nothing now.
Speak the truth, bro. Great, and even great performance. We got a lot of love, a lot of feedback in the chat, so make sure you go back and catch that. All right. Thank y'all for loving and continue to love on each other. While y'all embracing and loving on Coach Josh Smalls, open y'all mics and show some love to our next poet, CP Made.
And thanks for squeezing.
Yeah.
Shout outs to next Thursday I'm gonna be in Charlotte featuring. Like, I fly in Thursday, I leave Monday.
Where you at, CP?
Nemo, you can buy me alcohol. I won't be afraid, Nemo. I won't be afraid if you buy me some Valentine alcohol, Nemo.
Yeah.
Wait. Come on out, Nemo. I want to see you. Come on out, Nemo.
I have two pieces. One was this is experimental because I like experimenting. It's called Standing Ovations. Hopefully I won't fuck this up. Sarcasm is the lowest form of wit, but it's the highest form of intelligence. End quote. Oscar Wilde. Joshua. The way these hardworking blue-collar knuckles are tap dancing across the hardwood of this door, you would have sworn that the Charlotte Metro Police Department were well-versed, well-trained, wishing well-schooled, and giving two-a-day shows in North Davidson's Art District. But this is something more than that. This is something more than just another off-Broadway performance. This is the police. Open the fucking door. This is in about 3 minutes. These cops are going to break down, bust down, break through the damn door of this $240,000 loft and find enough dirty pistols, baking soda, and cocaine on this glass table to slide my bigger slice of American pie back into the oven, to leave Julie and Rebecca's adrenaline rush repercussions doing 10 to 20 years hard fed time. Rebecca, to leave our so-called better tomorrows at the salaried hand of an overworked district judge, Julie, who probably only makes a measly $60K a year, 2.5 hours, 140 miles away, and 6 years ago, in Duke University's prestigious and highly competitive biomedical engineering program is where the three overprivileged, overambitious, and wide-eyed intellectuals first met. Eventually, they shared a house. Julie's father planned on gifting her after graduation. Rebecca, Julie's father sold prescription pharmaceuticals for a living. Rebecca, side effects may include more than a modest mansion. Joshua, a few Mercedes, a trophy wife with a doctorate degree in pharmacology. Rebecca, don't forget about her master's in Merlot and Xanax. Joshua, and her associate's degree in Ambien, cutting-edge silicone breasts, and Botox. Julie, remember that was only because its side effects always also included two mistresses, extravagant pool parties, and snorting blow off of any ditzy, sexy, soft body, bikini blonde's backside he can find. This is the police. Open the fucking door. We know you're in there, you little smug little bastards. They never built with neighborhood dope boys. Being referred to as drug dealers were beneath him. You see, they never needed the money per se. What they needed was something to remind themselves that they were not their parents, that they could never be their parents, that no matter what, becoming their parents simply wasn't an option. Something to remind themselves that only pompous assholes catch brushes off of hustling money, off of hardworking middle Americana. They needed something to remind themselves that life is for the living, and living sometimes meant crossing lines for the sake of fucking doing it. Even if those lines were made of cocaine, they didn't slay crack rock on some neighborhood street block. They provided a very sophisticated profile concierge service to high-class uptown Charlotte clientele. Rebecca, Julie, listen carefully. We are not flushing these bricks of cocaine down the drain. We're smarter than that. Hide two of them in the air-conditioned vents above Joshua's dining room table. Joshua, Rebecca, buy us some time. I don't care about how you go about fucking doing it. All we need is 60 seconds to finish cleaning the house. Just stall the cops. Rebecca, oh, how should I go about doing that, Mr. Hugo Boss? Joshua, sing him a ditty, a lullaby, the theme song, the Family Guy, quote them Shakespeare for all I fucking care. We are armed from the neck down. Johnson, call in for backup. Tell the armory to bring me that 12-gauge skeleton key. Rebecca, it is forbidden to kill. Therefore, all murderers are punished unless they kill in large numbers and to the sounds of trumpets. What in the Rebecca? Oh, my dearest, dear officer, that was a quote from Voltaire. Smart ass, somebody's going to jail today. Tell us, Rebecca, do you want this to be you? It is better to risk saving a guilty man than to condemn an innocent one. Voltaire, you with your oh so high mighty concierge service, bang, bang, bang. Do you know drugs kill? The art of medicine consists of amusing the patient while nature cures the disease. Voltaire. We're coming in, Rebecca. God gave us the gift of life. Voltaire. Julie, it is up to us to give ourselves. Joshua, the gift of living well. Rebecca, Julie, Joshua, end quote. Voltaire, the knuckle tap dancing stops, y'all. When the cops rush into the loft, all they see is three figures standing in the entry hallway, clapping, as if to say, congratulations. Clapping, as if to say, encore, encore, officer. They were giving the police a standing ovation. Something I worked with in class. So yeah. That was that. October is considered Octavius. Tavis Brunson died from a brain aneurysm, I think. I know a lot of us are chasing the history books, especially me, especially if they say after 3 generations, you're going to be forgotten. That's why we're in this Zoom room, to try not to be fucking forgotten because we were here, you know? So Tavis, before he died, the writing prompt we gave each other was to write your own eulogy. I have Tavis's eulogy in my email. I swore I would never read it out loud. It was personal. This is the eulogy, my own self-eulogy I wrote for myself if I was to watch myself at my own funeral. Here lies the beloved. He asked me to be beautiful and brief. His passion was never satisfied. Believed his beauty was born in between brake lights. His heart, his bearing straight, where his service as a soldier crossed over into civilian states. He hasn't ever worn white socks since 1996. Admittedly, when he sees the word refer, he always mistakes it as reefer. One bar special Wednesday in the wisdom of his whiskey, he once told me, when you can't see eye to eye, don't ever adjust your perspective's point of view with wine glasses. Truly believe that when men had vasectomies, all they could do when they climaxed, when they got overly excited, was to skeet fucking air. If cremated, they said sprinkle his ashes inside inkwells, shuffle some of them to some dope poets so that the publishing world will respect them as those badasses that ash to ashes their scripts into fucking eternity. This ain't no cry from a eulogy. This is a he hope in heaven, honeys, believed in giving head type eulogy. This is no respect or check your memories in front of his kids or parents type eulogy. This is Jesus, Jack Daniels, and Jello shots type eulogy. This not the type of eulogy that calls for closure or a curtain call, but from here on brandished brass knuckles and knock the fucking teeth out of your Tom, not now call a sunflower stargazer lily maze, a moment with Jasmine Cashmere calls. You know, Porno, you know who that is. And no matter how you view them, book yourself into fucking beautiful and concrete chapter your catharsis calls. He would always say that at most of his moments in time, he often believed in others more than he believed in himself. And somehow he was fine with that. He couldn't quote scriptures as well as he could quote sick lines in other people's poems. And he was fine with that. Here lies a man of a metaphor that hated to be human. He often plucked stars out of the sky with the hopes that compassion, keepsakes, and dreams would keep shining on earth. His pulse was pockets full of passion. He would pass out for pennies on the fucking dollar. He reminded us of our worth. He will be remembered in our hearts dearly. R.I.P. Rest in passion. C.P. Mays. Thank y'all.
Y'all open your mics and show some love. CP, that first piece was crazy how you was going back and forth. The line that really stuck with me was she had a master's in Merlot and Xana. That was crazy. This last piece you did, you know, rest in peace to Tavis. Let me speak on that for a minute. Anybody have any of you here have got I don't think Tavis ever had an enemy in his life. This guy just had that kind of energy that everybody loved him, and he was worthy of that, man. So rest in peace to that king. You know, great brother. To write a poem like that, to write your own eulogy, I could only imagine some of the shit Tavis had to say, because the way his mindset was and how he made humor out of some of the worst situations. Just crazy. That reefer line was crazy too. Reefer, that was crazy too. But something that you said in there, this man of a metaphor never saw himself as human. Powerful, fucking powerful. Great writing, great to read.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. I don't know. I feel like, and I don't know if other artists feel this way, like, I'm the kid with the cracked halo and I just got duct tape. You know what I'm saying? Like I just carry duct tape with me. Or some of the people I come across that are close to me, they let me borrow their duct tape. You know what I'm saying? Just to hold my halo together for a moment.
Yeah.
And to be that awkward wallflower or outlaw, it's lonely when we write sometimes, you know? And we decide to share our lonely in rooms like this with a bunch of awkward, like rebellious, renegade, you know, cats too. And with all of that being said, we can still embrace a micro triptych from a guy who kicks babies and slaps old people. And then we can watch Ja do a poem fresh off of, you know, having to get off work from working as a daytime stripper at an elderly strip club. And then we can watch, you know what I'm saying, like Gifted do a sex poem in the middle of an Easter service, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then we can watch Wits. We can just, no, I'm done playing. Yo, thank y'all for y'all attention.
Listen, real quick.
Take your fucking mic.
I know, right? Let me say this real quick. I was scrolling Facebook some years ago, and I saw this man in the hospital, pictures of this brother in the hospital, and he was talking about his process through what he had to go through in all of his operations and things like that. And I didn't know that this man was a poet. I didn't know that this man was a loved poet in this community. I didn't know this was Tavis at the time. And I sent a friend request. And we played Word Feud, and he kicked my ass the entire time I played Word Feud with him. He would do things like, see, I play, and then he'd text me goodbye, and then post a word, and the word would be like 800 and something fucking points. So he used to whoop my ass every day. I'm gonna say this. I remember featuring Tavis the first time at Apostrophe Lounge. I had not heard him do a feature set, but he was such a beloved brother. I was like, yo, if you in town. He said, man, I'd love to come and do it. I have never witnessed a poet have the perfect conversation that leads you right into a poem and you didn't realize he pulled you in a poem. Never in my life, okay? I go on forever, but I want to say this. CP, at one time in this lifespan, poetry is going to need a Jesus. And I don't know who that Jesus is going to be, but I'll be damned if you're not going to be his fucking preacher.
These mic drops are killing me, I swear. he said something, he disappeared. But you already know, CP. There was something, the ashes, what is it? Ashes in the ink wells or something like that, I think you said. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's a thing that I kind of want to do. When I die, I want half of my I want to be cremated, half my ashes be buried in a veteran cemetery. And then the other half of my ashes literally mixed in inkwells and like thrown to some of the dopest fucking poets I know, and have quills given with the inkwells mixed with my ashes. So that sometimes you can just dip that ink, that feather, that quill inside the ink and write a fucking poem and just think of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so that's one of my dreams right now. But to end on a good note, I think we all have the power to be so fucking great, but we don't know it because we do this on the daily, being us, being Miko, being Ja, being Dark Man, being Gifted, you know, being Generalissimo, Sidekick, Shocky. And before you know it, once you're gone, you're going to see all of these roses come to you. For Tavis, I knew chasing the history books could happen because it happened to him. 30 seconds. Poets traveling back to Florida, coming East Coast from the North, they took a side trip to Tavis's graveyard, put a bottle of black fingernail polish, because we rock black fingernail polish, and put like black fingernail polish and I think a drink on his tombstone just to pay homage. Like, we all have the power to be remembered, and we all will. Thank you for for grinding with me towards this goal. I'm done. Thanks, John. You shut me up.
All right, I'm gonna say this. I got a chance to live with Tavis Brunson for quite some time. And that man, he lived and breathed the art. He also stole my birthday because all of a sudden October is Octavius. I was born too. But that was who he was. And he reached out to everybody. It did not matter who you were or where you came from. That's who he was. So respect. Respect.
Word.
Well, what you can say after that, man, can't know. You know, we just gotta give him a moment of silence. Thanks. But y'all keep pushing that love, man. I appreciate everything that's being given tonight. Let's get these last few poets out so we can end well. Thank you, Brother CP Mays, for your work. Y'all open your hearts and your mics at this time. Let's show some love to General Lissimo, Brian Franklin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Witz. Yeah, so my computer is very low on memory, so I can't be on camera. I'll just read a couple pieces, maybe 3, I don't know. See what I have for you. So these first two pieces are in what's in an anthology called Caesura from the Poetry Center of San Jose. And when I got the letter about a month and a half ago, they only told me that this first one was in it. It's called "Is Healing in the Eye of the Beholder or the Beholdee?" What if I were healed tomorrow from something I did not know I needed to be healed from? Something someone might refer to as a foible. Aren't flaws in the eye of the beholder as much as beauty is in the eye of the beholder? What happens when the beholder is looking in a mirror that's a funhouse mirror, but the beholder doesn't quite comprehend the concept of the funhouse mirror? Then what the beholder decides is beauty or a flaw will be distorted in the eyes of everyone else, but the beholder will consequently judge their distorted idea of beauty and flaws as normal. And then when I just received it in the mail yesterday, I found a second poem that got accepted, which was a nice surprise. And I don't know how many of you know the amazing Rain, who is from New York City. And anyways, she used to host a Thursday night at the New Eurekan. But she does host the last Friday for The Word Is Right. And it's called Freestyle Fridays. But anyways, so I was driving home from a trip to New York where I read at the New Eurekan and I read at a street fair. And I stopped at a rest area and I to just grab some food, and I was looking at Facebook, and she had this little inspirational quote in that she posted, and this poem is called "I think I left a butt cheek at a hotel in the East Village. I hope they didn't throw it away." To quote the inspirational poet Dr. Ray Jane, all pain can be breathed through. But what happens when breathing is painful? When every ounce of air you inhale is laced with regret? When every single action in which you partake has an appropriate reaction that ain't the reaction you were looking for? When every time you look in the mirror, you are wearing a new mask that has been tattooed to your face? When you contemplate getting bionic glass eyes because you can never see anything that exists in the vicinity of right in front of your face? When trying only leads to more trying on what seems like an infinite loop that seems like an infinite loop in an infinite series of infinite loops ad infinitum until you realize you are only somehow subconsciously only half-ass trying everything you try. Then you realize you might be addicted to only half-ass trying, and you discover there are no 12-step programs for only half-ass trying, and as a result, you actually decide to get up off your ass to find the other half of your ass so you can finally take a full breath. And I just want to do this because it's kind of a happy poem. It's called Ode to a Good Burger. A good burger can be a pub burger, crusty on the outside and slightly pink on the inside, plump and pillowy, sandwiched between toasty brioche or potato roll or ciabatta, the type of burger that compresses to just wide enough for your mouth when you squeeze the sandwich. When you take a bite, its juices drip onto the fries like manna from heaven. No condiments are needed for this grilled masterpiece. Lettuce, sliced raw onions, and beautiful bread and butter pickles under the bun are proverbial cherries on top. A good burger can be a greasy burger smashed flat on a flat top with American cheese, chili, lettuce, chopped onions, and a thick slice of tomato, and maybe just mustard or barbecue sauce. It's not fancy as a pub burger, but it takes your taste buds on a trip to the beach after you packed everything up and the sun has begun to set, but still shines brightly in that cheap roadside non-chain local little joint where everyone sits outside at picnic tables and finishes the day with soft serve ice cream and honeycombs. Gracias, everyone.
Thank you, General. Y'all open your mics and show some love to General Lissimo.
All right, and congratulations on your achievements there. Congratulations, well done.
Yeah, congrats, Generalissimo. That's big. That's big.
Well, I just want to say that, Gifted, you have such an amazingly beautiful voice. Not just your writing, but your actual voice just always just takes me to a really, really serene place. So thank you.
Thank you.
Don't be flirting with my woman. That's a joke, man. Not to make everybody get quiet. Come on out. Come on and show the love.
No, her voice is definitely more than serene. I think he was, yeah. And I'm a whole female, okay?
Definitely, man. Appreciate the love, General Lissimo. Great shares, man. And again, like you've already heard, congratulations on your new accomplishments. All right. Let's keep the room flowing. We can get out of here. I gotta get up in the morning. So y'all open y'all mics and show some love to our brother Sidekick, Kick Side.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, Sidekick.
Great to be with you. I appreciate everybody sharing. Y'all sound lovely tonight.
What up, Graylin?
Yo, Sidekick.
What's up, man?
Bearded
It's great to see you guys. Keeping it tall. All right, here we go, y'all. This is called Graylin Counts. I was born at the end of the summer in 1990. I pissed on the doctor and have continued to make bad first impressions. I think love goes better when we start off on the wrong foot. Men are like triangles or spearheads. They lead with the smallest parts of themselves. It's only after the point, the more you get to know them, that you find out how large they are. Boys blunt force trauma by announcing their back ends first. The difference between a man and a boy is humility, and I'm not sure which one I am. I like having fun, and I'm not sure I'm good at it anymore. I'm learning to carry my confidence like a juggler. I don't know what the other balls are, so I keep adding in chainsaws and eggs. I'm not too worried about metaphors making perfect sense. Some days, I think one man can change the world. Other days, I'm not sure I've ever seen one. I don't think you need anyone to tell you what they believe. Most things don't need to be said. You can use your eyes. The way someone acts tells you more than what they say. Taco Bell is the second best food in the world, and the best food is wherever you want to eat together. I've never doubted God when being held. I'm better at holding my breath than I am at letting people hear me huff and puff. I can't stand up next to a girl who is pretty and doesn't know it. I wake up every day like I'm in basic training. I can almost hear the voices in my head yelling, "Move, you rat bastard, let's go. How long will you sleep? Stupid is on wax, tracks getting scratched. Life is a game of Simon Says with no right responses." My brother told me a story about how when his ancestors were done living, they used to get on a small iceberg and take a final voyage. My sister says she wants to die in the arms of her lover. My dad sings, "When I come to die, give me Jesus." My father says you can have all this world, but I don't want to die. But I have considered murder, and I'm at the top of my list. I don't think you can love others until you've learned to love yourselves. How can you claim to like humans and not love the one you're living inside of? I would rather party with you than suffer with you, but if you need me, I'll be there. If you need me, I'll be there. Thank you. Next poem. Oh, yo.
Yes.
Wanted to share one more with y'all called Fall. Yeah, so this is called Fall. I want all fall all day, every day. I want like a totally OMG fall, like tough seasonal depression. Carry melancholy in my thermos on the way to therapy, where I will be all, I don't want the blues to stop. I want my wife dressed in high boots, tights, and a vest, helping me rake in an Everest of mountain leaves that will fall, explode, avalanche down under my daughter's feet, which is to say, I want my wife looking like Han Solo, throwing my daughter into leaves with giggles and screams. I want pumpkin spice this and that. If the choice is really yours, I want more. I want pumpkin spice boxers, pumpkin spice whitey tighties, because real men wear pink. And awesome men scream on front porches with a shotgun in hand, a foot on a pumpkin like Captain Jack wearing whitey tighties and cowboy boots. I ain't always been this way, but this year I'm totes my goats being half naked in fall on the porch, letting shots off from this gun fall as we all fall, and this fall in the fall as the leaves fall, and when it all falls down, God be calling on me. Me being crazy ain't none of your beeswax. It ain't nobody's business but my own, and when it all falls down, God be calling on me. I want to drink a pumpkin spice something or other. I want hugs and Uggs in my Snuggie. I want fires and Halloweens. I want the time to change. And enough candles ain't enough. It's lame AF if the house ain't on fire. The smoke alarm should go off no less than 3 times this season. I want to look super cute in a football jersey of some team, and I don't care which one it is. I'm an athlete, not an artist. I just want to wear one while I'm making cookies, crunch dead leaves, Friendsgiving, put on a flannel, take engagement photos with the woman I already married. Hashtag thankful, corn mazes, apple orchards. I want to watch Hocus Pocus and Legally Blonde. Blondes have more fun as if. I want to celebrate fall hard, all in, as if I ain't lost a friend every fall since puberty. Like they all are still here, right here. Like I ain't scared I'll lose you. Like these leaves are beautiful and not mother's tears. Like the earth ain't groaning, growing sorrow all summer, and now it's the fallout. As if every leaf doesn't have a name on it. Like the tip of a branch ain't called a terminal, bud. Let's celebrate, buddy. Let's do what they can't do now. Like this fall ain't death. Like fentanyl is so bogus and not attractive. Like no need to take a chill pill because this season is so fetch. Like a rope is just a rope and not one last chance to hang out. Like baked goods, not guns, are in my range. Like the silhouette of a tree is just lovely and not a metaphor. Like my God, I love fall. October is my favorite color. I want to celebrate fall like I'm falling and still holding on. Thank you.
Wow,
Woo!
Kick side.
that's a lot.
Oh my God.
Fall is my favorite season anyway.
Mine as well.
Sidekick, that first poem, the way you came through with that, bro, just brilliantly written, man. One thing I love about you, man, is that you also bring humor to very deep conversations. All your poems are conversation pieces. You can pluck so much from there and build around it. But again, you find a way to make us smile and find a laugh somewhere in there. So I appreciate you for that, bro. Thank you for sharing.
Dude, the sound of your laughter is one of my favorite noises on the planet. It's for real. I love it. I love it.
I love
I'm
you
waiting
too,
for the
bro. You
cheese
know
shop
that.
video. I'm waiting for them to do the video for the cheese shop. That's
Oh man. That one would be crazy. That one crazy. Yeah, you just gave me a crazy visual with that, John. Yeah, I think you do need a video for that. I think
Come
you
on, come
definitely
on.
do. Word. Any more flowers for the poet?
Yeah.
Well,
The thing I like about your work, Sidekick, is we spoke on the phone before. So we have similar styles, like our root style is so similar. And you have that funny essence that Ja was talking about and that Witz was talking about. Like you disarm us without us knowing, right? Like you disarm us without us knowing, and then you hit us. You know, it's like you do this Kansas City shuffle where you go off, and then you're like, what's the line? I want to wear a football jersey while baking cookies. What was it, baking cookies or some shit? Like,
yeah.
Like you have these, like, who the fuck says that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, I can't wait to see what happens once you start shooting shit out to the publishing world. They're not gonna know what to fucking do with you at all.
Thank you, CP.
yeah, that's the stuff. Make sure you check the chat. Definitely got some love flowing through there as well, bro. We love you. We embrace you, man. Thank you for coming in and sharing with us always. This home, you know that.
Love you guys.
Yes, sir. Love you right back, brother. We got two more poets, and then we're gonna call it a night. Y'all open your hearts and your mics. Show some love to Kim B. Miller.
Hey, great people. It's been a while. First, before I get into this poetry, I have to say thank you for your votes because on Saturday, I was crowned 2023 DMV Renaissance Haikuist of the Year, third time in a row. Thank you. I was also crowned DMV Renaissance Female OG Poet of the Year. I don't do none of this by myself. I make no fantasies about how I get where I get. It's from the love of everybody in this room and from the people who's been loving on me. So thank you. This first poem, I don't know if I've ever read it because I submitted for something that was accepted, blah, blah, blah. So I had to wait around. I think I'm past the threshold. I guess I'll read it, and if I get slapped later, I'll apologize. It's called Sleep. I woke up to the sound of my husband tripping over his socks. I know, let me close that. I hear that 15 times. Okay, sorry. I woke up to the sound of my husband tripping over his socks. I know it was his black socks because he always leaves them on the floor. I warned him about falling on them, but he laughs, and then I do too. Laughter erases caution. As I look up, he closes the bathroom door tightly. My eyes close slowly, but my vision has not stopped. I hear the sound of water running. It has me thinking. What steps does he take to wash a face that is often ignored? He meticulously, exactly brushes each of his coarse gray hair. I wonder if the color gray is strong enough. Does gray hair remove the target from his black skin? Does the light hue in his skin make him less killable? He's getting ready for work and I'm getting ready for death. His navy uniform shirt is neatly tucked into his beige khakis. His put people at ease attire is complete. I just hope he's not dressed to kill. He faces the pressure of being a black man so well. I'm the one who shadows his movement in silence. A black man has enough baggage, so I won't hand him any of mine. I try to go back to sleep, but I wonder if he knows how proud I am of him. I wonder if home is the only place he feels safe. Is black safety a fairy tale? In between blinks, I see him smiling at me. I smile back, but I don't know if he saw my smile hidden in the darkness. He never says bye when he leaves. Bye sounds permanent. His smile already has 1,000 goodbyes wrapped in it. I whisper a plea of silence to my mind. I negotiate the release of my peace. I want sleep to erase my thoughts. I just want to go back to sleep, but I don't want death to wake me up. Now, haiku. Those you don't know, haiku 17 syllables, started in Japan. Traditional ones only on nature. And of course, non-traditional ones tend to be any subject. We've kind of changed all that. But anyway, 17 syllable haiku. Stallion got shot. All these non-jockeys got mad, but not at the shooter. Haiku. You asking Revlon to do too much. Makeup doesn't hide your excuses. Haiku. Colonizations of Indians? Shh. Got time for fake mermaids, though. Haiku. If you keep attracting snakes, stop asking why. Go slither with your tribe. Haiku. If all you want is snow bunnies, don't degrade Black queens. Hop your ass out. Haiku. Your dating preference is not a flex. Don't brag on tea you haven't sipped. Haiku. Some of you have no will, but you rock like you should have been in one slapped. Haiku. Misery does not love company. Misery knows family. Haiku. You can't be an anchor for them and swim too. Drowning ain't a flex. Let's see what to end with. Haiku. Sometimes you're not invited because you're great and they're just good. Thank y'all.
Goodness gracious, y'all open your mics and show some love to Kim.
Oh my God. You're not
Wow.
invited because you're great and they're good.
Facts.
Makeup can't erase excuses. Oh, I
And the-
love you. I love it. I
And
love
the,
it. I love
and
it.
the anchor. You can't be an anchor and swim.
Yes.
Whew,
I
that,
love it.
that was powerful.
Can I borrow haiku till Thursday?
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank
Thank
y'all.
you. Congratulations as well
Yes,
on your
congratulations.
accomplishments. Congratulations.
Thank y'all. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Thank you for that reiteration. You definitely deserve it. We are proud of you, Queen. Keep winning. Keep winning.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hey, that's what's up. And make sure you check the chat. You got some love floating for you up in there. All right.
Will do.
So, awesome. All right, so let's get it with our last poet. Y'all open your hearts and your mics and show some love to Dark Man Blues or you complicated passions tonight. Which one are you?
I'm gonna do some of everything, because I mean, you guys were on fire tonight, so I don't know. So, but in honor of, I didn't win the haiku championship, but I'm gonna get in it in one day, and I'm gonna win. So, this is my haiku for Kim B. Miller from Darkman Blues. So, for y'all didn't get John Bold, and you didn't get a chance to read. Open carry was written to get rid of you. You're gonna be dead, son. That's
Go
that.
ahead, poet.
Yeah, so I'm gonna share something from this new book that I wrote. Well, I didn't write it by myself. I had help, and so I had this poet push me to another level. This here is a history of complicated passions. Check it out. These are the pages of my heart. If I were making love, it would be my recipe, a prelude to passion. These lyrical expressions of my hunger, whispering the things that lovers do. In these chronicles, scripting my affection, being mischievous, loving you off paper, sharing the clone in me, love in the conversation gifted by these insatiable moments as if it were me and these dark man blues on the other side of love's imagination, waiting for my last interview with love. And that's the title of my next book, An Interview with Love. And all those were titles of all my books. So, and that's in Love Is. And this is something that I wish I would have wrote, but I didn't write it. So, but check it out. Someone told me dreams come with heartache. Therefore, love at first sight has to come with questions. So, how do you love? Capture everything your heart can't stand within beats of your shattered heart. How do you spell happy when it finds you? Fold in between the gateway of closed doors you are afraid of. I want to tell you my secrets. Exhale to the rainbows everyone failed to see. I want to become your roadmap to pretty skies and shimmering bells of matrimony. I plan to make you mine and share every dream I have about you. tomorrow and the morning after, written by Josh Smalls, and I Am Complicated Passions.
I'm just gonna give you all my poems to read. That's it. Just read all my poems. I'm not reading
All
shit.
right. I already told you I'm gonna read all them joints. I'm gonna read them all. Yep. I'm gonna claim them. They mine, but I didn't write them. But they dope. They dope for sure. Yeah.
Man, y'all open up y'all mics and show some love, please.
Wow.
Listen, let me say this before y'all get started, man, because and which I know you're going to bed, so I'm not gonna keep this long, but you know, we talked about doing this book, I think last year, December or January, whatever, right? And I sent the poem and then we didn't talk for a minute. I sent this brother 15 poems. 15. He sent me, but first he called me and said, listen, I haven't been this excited about writing poetry in a minute. He sent me 30 fucking poems. 30. Who does that? Y'all gonna love this book. Y'all gonna love this book. Listen, I'm so excited, man. I'm so.
Okay, well, you know, I don't want to tell him, but I actually wrote 50 poems. That's how inspired I was in 7 days.
Wow.
That's how dope this book is. And then for me to
Can't wait.
capture a whole bunch of different moments, because nothing's going to read the same. Just reading his work was so inspiring that I'm like, I'm glad I'm not the only one write like this. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
And when I come on next week, I'm just reading from the book. That's how I'm reading now. You're getting it from the book. That's it.
Yeah, I'm going to share a couple of more poems from the book, but I got a lot of stuff. So I'm going to be in Nashville. I'm going to be in Baltimore. I'm going to be in DMV. Hope to see some of y'all there while I'm there for those who live in that area. So it's going to be dope.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for the share, Dark Man Blues, Complicated Passion, John Bold, all three of y'all. We appreciate y'all tonight.
Thank you.
You're crazy.
No, he called it
Love
right.
it.
He called it right because I'm all of them. I got extra names that I just haven't shared them yet because, you know, those books aren't out yet, but it's plenty. You know, you got to be
Oh,
all
wow.
different kind of characters. You can't be the same all the time. So something's got to happen.
So true. Wow. Okay.
Well, I want to give my blessings to the room, man. These shows can't happen without y'all presence. And I thank y'all so much for continuing to come and share space and share your soul with us here, who's naked up in here. Because again, I know it's not always easy to get in front of people and speak, no matter what the subject is. You know, just being present in the time shows y'all strength and shows the God in us all. So I love y'all. I thank y'all for being here. Just everybody unmute yourselves and just give each other an embrace, man. Whatever it is.
Much love to all you.
Thank you for a wonderful evening, an amazing space, incredible community.
Yes, it's been a great night.
Absolutely.
Great night of poetry.
Beautiful pens, greater voices.
Thank you again.
Congratulations to all those
Yeah.
deserving of the congratulations. It's good to see that you know, our heart is pushing us, you know, to do even greater things. And these accomplishments are coming to fruition. So big love to everybody. Don't never stop dreaming and don't ever stop fighting for what you believe in.
Yeah. Feel better soon, Prada. We love you.
Yes.
You and the
also our
kids.
other brother, yes. Prada, Marianne Wilkerson, Marianne Peterson.
I was about to say she my cousin.
I know, right?
That's my cousin.
We're trying to go to bed, you know?
Yeah, he is. All right. He
That's
is.
why everything you see everything starting to run together.
Run together. Wilson, Marianne, all of y'all.
Yeah, I
It's
get
been a
up at 5
pleasure.
o'clock in the morning. I got
Yes.
to get up and get it going. So you know, I
right.
still got to download this and get it ready. I try to get it up and visible so you all can go and view it while it's still fresh. So I'm gonna stay up and do that for another 15, 20 minutes. and I'm gonna be crashing. But with that being said, y'all, I love y'all. Always enjoy sharing space with y'all. Y'all have a beautiful evening, and may the Most High continue to guide, protect us all.
Yes. Keep
Absolutely.
Love you,
hands and
Woods.
lifting your voices. I love it. Have a great night.
Take care.
You want any?
They might have crashed. I need you to X them out.
Okay. Now, I was going to ask you about the notes. I don't need any.